Hello, we're here with Brian Gerrard and he is going to share his amazing story with us. We're here representing Tough Minds and Life Rescue, and I'm Elizabeth McIntosh. You have got an amazing story, and I think it's so important that we talk to people like yourself that have got this lived experience with mental health and with suicide.
Where it started, when I was 5. My life was bliss till 5. I remember coming from Western Australia over to Mackay. The age of 4, we got a beach house at Ball Bay. We went to on weekends, and that was the first time I was sexually abused by an old man. And it led to, strangely, a long 14-year period of 9 different men, 1 woman from the age of 5 to 19 that I was sexually abused. Priests, Christian brothers, senior students at school, a cross-section of people, strangely enough, I thought it was really strange that why so many people, but talking to police and other people of my age living in this town, we do personally believe that there was quite a ring of pedophiles going on, and it was pretty tough times. There's a lot of people in this town who went through the exact same thing as I did.
Gosh, that's tough for you, Brian.
There's more than one thing, yeah, sure. Child sexual abuse was a big part of it. The straw that broke the camel's back, as I say, was the breakdown of my marriage and the loss of my 2 sons. That still hurts to this day. I don't have much more to say about it, but that's the one big thing, that's the only disappointment that I really have today. And so that really, that sort of sent me in a downward spiral. But strangely enough, it was a good thing. I needed to break. I needed to be broken. I needed to be torn right back to the bare essentials and rebuilt again. And that was a tough process because I didn't have a support system. Most of this time I've done it all by myself. I just kept, falling backwards sometimes, but getting back up and just kept sort of going forward, I was honest to a point with my wife in telling her that before we even got married, that I was sexually abused, I was physically abused, I was mentally abused. I come with luggage, I'm not, I'm not perfect, kind of thing, nothing, no one is, I suppose. But I never went into any details. She never, still this day, doesn't know any of the details unless she's read my story. It was, it really, it brought it all to the fore. And it was, it was a period of time, about 18 months, 12 to 18 months, where I spiraled down quite a way. My mental health was very poor. I got to a point, it was funny, I do recall quite clearly there was a time where Josh and Nick, my 2 sons, kept me here, and I was like, no, I've just got to keep fighting through this. But even that kind of got to a point where, sadly, that didn't matter either. I got to a point where I thought they'd probably be better off without me, which is irrational thinking. Because anyone who is in a place of suicide is not thinking rationally. Even though at the time, I can tell you quite clearly, I've attempted suicide 3 times, and 3 times it was quite euphoric. The feeling of finally taking something or doing something that was going to stop your life and stop all the pain, and you'll go to sleep and you'll never wake up again, there'll be no more hurt. It's a wonderful feeling when you're that dark. It's euphoric, it feels great. And you often find people all of a sudden are in a really good place. Be really cautious with that, because that's kind of doomsday kind of place. That's when they're in a good place, they've probably made a decision, and that's not a good thing. Oh gee, good question. Because I was doing it by myself all the way through, it was, really, I guess, my ex-wife and my sons, I often think about it. Everyone's an individual and every story is different, but if the shoe was on my foot, I would have been supportive and been there and gone through it to the end, whatever it takes. But, at the same time in saying that, I respect that my ex-wife found it too hard. I was in a really bad place. So, but I believe that I had to go through my journey. There was nothing, I really don't think there was anything, great that could have stopped me or made a great deal of difference, even though I was in psych wards and doing all the right, was trying to do the right thing, you know, it wasn't helping at that time. So I really do feel that because where I am now, that I've come out the other side, that I needed to go through that. I know that sounds really strange to say I need to go through a suicide attempt or go through 2 suicide attempts, but maybe stupid me had to go through 3 to finally work out why I'm here and what it is all about, you know. So I kind of feel like it was a process the universe wanted me to go through.
Sure.
You know, and
I get that.
I'm here now, and what's coming out the other side is a good thing. So, you know, it can't be that. Yeah. Anyway.
Because you have come out the other side. I mean, with, you know, your 3 suicide attempts and you know what's happened to you in the past. I mean, you know, we're sitting in your salon. You're self-employed. You're back on track. You're a successful business person.
Thank you.
You know, the salon is beautiful. There's a wonderful feel when you walk through the door. You know, you are back. You in fact, you know, have known it. I've known you, you know, previously, and I can see that you're not only back, but you're bigger and better than ever.
Oh, thank you. I mean, I went the, you know, psychiatrist, psychologist path, you know, mental health, ended up in acute care multiple times. I mean, as much as I didn't want to, you know, go to mental health and be assessed and all that sort of stuff, you know, once you go through the process and you end up spending time in the acute care unit, it's not that bad. It's not as, I mean, it's not that bad. It's not that bad at all. It's a bit institutionalised, which all those places are, because it's a hospital, but it's more homely than any other place in the hospital. You know, it's not too bad. What I could say is just look, you know, just don't be afraid to say something to anybody. It doesn't matter if you know, your mum, your dad, a total stranger even. Sometimes it's better telling, you know, your deepest, darkest secrets to somebody who doesn't really know you. And they're less judgmental too, I guess. But, you know, and look, go to the doctors, go to the psychs, you know, go to mental health, go to the hospital. If you have to, do it. I mean, it's a process, it sucks, but you come out the other side better, you know. Because when the brain's sick, it's like having a heart attack or having your kidney fail or, you know, having any other ailment with any other organ. You know, when your brain's sick, you know, it needs specialist help. So, you know, think about it that way. It's not a mental disorder, it's just, you know, you've got a brain illness, you know.
Yeah. Wow.
I was pretty sad. No regrets. There wasn't at the time, like I said to you, in that, you know, everyone has a different perception of depression. I often use the term the black hole. It's like a deep, deep well with no water in it. I just, you know, just kept getting taller and taller and taller. You know, for me, some people talk about a black cloud. Some people talk about, you know, the black dog. There's lots of different, you know, descriptions. At the time, no, because I wasn't in a clear mind. So no, I didn't. I was, like I said before, I was quite euphoric. That was a really strange thing. I look back on that to think that deciding to take your own life can make you feel so damn good. It was incredible. It was a really a little disturbing in a way, but just, yeah, like to think that, you know, making that decision can make you feel so good. Now, I'm not trying to glorify it. It's just that's what actually happened to me. That was, and I've spoken to other people in the same boat, and they said the same thing. Yeah, the first time I gassed myself in the car and I was revived and, you know, whatnot. The second 2 times I took drug overdose. The second time I actually did it in the psych ward, which caused a lot of problems. Oh boy.
I bet it did.
Yeah. The third time I did it down in Brisbane. I went down to Brisbane. I was staying in a cousin's unit while he was away overseas for 3 months, and thought it was the perfect place. No one will find me. And yeah, the Greek lady next door heard me stumbling around for 3 days in this unit after I'd taken over 400 tablets, and yeah, I was sort of falling in and out of consciousness and whatnot, and yeah, it was sort of, yeah. The police broke into the place, and about 3 days later I was taken out, and I don't recall anything for a couple of weeks at all. In the process I lost my large intestine, part of my pancreas. I was extremely unwell. I was in hospital for 4 months. With drains and drips, I was full of pus. I was as sick as a dog, you know, and like, at that point in time I thought, well, excuse my French, fuck the suicide. It's just not working for me. You know, I'm still here. You know, and every time I came to, I was really pissed off. I was so disappointed, and it made it worse in a way. You know? But yeah, the fact of the matter is, you know, I've found that my experiences, I've actually helped relatives and close friends firsthand understanding suicide. So, I mean, sad as suicide is, it is comforting to have a survivor being able to explain really dark, unusual things to people. I remember a friend of mine asked me once, why wasn't my husband thinking about me and the kids? And I said, because he was completely irrational. He wasn't thinking of you, he was just thinking of himself, you know. And it was like a light bulb moment for us. You kind of, it sort of, changed everything for him. It made quite a difference. Oh, yeah, 180. Like, you know, I come from a place of giving. Not that I've taken a lot, but I've even when I think about like just nurses and doctors, I've put a lot of people through a lot of stuff, you know, even people who didn't even know me, but, you know, helped save me, things like that. So I think about that, and it makes me very humble, and very grateful for life, very grateful for the opportunity to be as good as I can be, and to be ever striving again, you know, to have that feeling of wanting to be better every day, of wanting to set new goals every day. You know, even at my ripe old age of 56, I'm still setting goals, and I'm out there and I'm doing things. It's not just a salon, it's playing drums, it's being involved in music and stage productions, and my life is very full. You know, Crossroads Arts, I involve myself in a lot of things. Doing things like this, it's very important to me. One thing I do is from child sexual abuse, there's a lot of people. I shared my story about 5 years ago, and it went viral, and I currently have about 30-40 people on my books that I actually am walking through the process of, I mean, even just going to the police and telling somebody for the first time. I mean, I've got many clients who, they told me their story, I was the first person they ever told. And I know what that's like as well, the first time you tell somebody. And the greatest thing of all of that too is, don't be afraid to tell someone, because people will believe you. You know, the little frightened boy inside me always thought that no one will ever believe this. It's just too fanciful. It's just too like, it's too out there. But you know what? Everybody did. Everybody did. You know, yeah. Even the police. I remember Sergeant Nicholas. Yeah, I'm fine. It's how strong it is and how much it means to you. When he said to me, I went and spoke to him, and I gave a statement about Father McCardle. And I remember the first thing he said to me was, I believe you. And that was such a life-changing moment. It really was. You know, it was like such a big weight off the shoulders. Yeah, it was huge. You know, so...
Because back in those days, you know, it was swept under the carpet.
Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, baby boomers, that's why I do what I do. I'm a voice for baby boomers who were sexually abused, because, I mean, let's face it, today it's a lot better. There's, you know, we have foundations, we have organisations, you know, the Daniel Morgan Foundations, those types of things. It's very open, it's spoken about, it's not hidden. It's the same with mental health, it's spoken about now, it's not hidden, it's not a dirty word. It's reality. It's the real world, you know? Yeah, and the fact that it's not spoken about anymore and it's very open, that's great, but baby boomers, they didn't have a voice, and still to this day, I mean, the Royal Commission has been wonderful in a lot of ways, and I commend... Sorry.
Take your time.
Every time I think of this, I cry. Malcolm Turnbull, only a few months ago, apologised on behalf of Australia. That was big. It was really, really big. Yeah. And I commend him for that, you know, and
Obviously, you know, you're weeping and your tears are for memory, not because you're going through it.
No.
But it is that touching memory.
Absolutely. it sucks being in a place that you're in right now. I know, it's horrible. But there's always a but. There's an upside. You can survive it. You will survive it. There's nothing in life that's as bad as what you're thinking about right now. There is an upside. You can come out the other side, aren't you? Excuse me. Yeah, there is a way out. Just speak to anybody. Go talk to someone. Talk to a mate. Talk to total strangers. Sometimes that's better. They don't know you. They don't really care about your problems, and they'll listen to you, you know. But just do something. Don't take your life. You're too important for the people around you. They all love you. And I know you're not thinking about them right now. You're only thinking about yourself. But just think about this. When you're gone, and if you do take your life, there's going to be so many people so hurt. There's going to be so much anguish, and it's going to take weeks, months and years for those people to pick up the pieces. Do you really want to leave a mess like that? Please don't. You're worth it.
Thank you so much, Brian.
My pleasure.
It's been wonderful. Thank you for sharing that with us.